Last week I showed you a sealed pool and asked for your vote on what color we should build from it. The results are in. While many color combinations were put forward, the vast majority of submissions were for the 5 clans of Tarkir. At the bottom of that list were Sultai at 28 votes, followed by Teamer at 35, Jeskai at 47, Abzan at 63, and so the overwhelming majority of you at 170 votes said, let's build Mardu. So Mardu we shall do. Now before I build this deck, I do want to say that this sealed pool that I opened was exceptionally strong. Why can't I get anything like this down at the shop during pre-release? Man, these were some really good cards to choose from. And while I do agree with the majority of you that Mardu looks to be the strongest of the colors, I also feel that many of the other color combinations are strong as well. And in a few weeks, after I've been playing this sealed constructed deck with my friends in casual games down at lunch, in my living room, whatever, I'm going to go back and I'm going to rebuild a brand new deck from this pool in other colors, and by doing so I extend the playability of my cards, which is why I really love 6 packs for building a 40 card sealed deck with as casual play. I've always got this in my pocket. I even bring the rest of the pool with me in my deck box so that when we're at lunch I can be looking at what my other options are, what I might like to rebuild and try. Helps me learn the cards a lot, helps me see different interactions, and most importantly, is a lot of fun. Okay, enough said. Let's get to this Mardu deck. So what's the first thing we want to do when building our Mardu deck? Eliminate the dirt, the duds, the cards that we're definitely not playing with. By first getting rid of the worst cards, clearing them from our view, we become better equipped to analyze and determine which are the must-haves and which are the maybes. These are the cards I think are absolute dirt or duds. I don't want to run anything from this selection in my deck, and so I'm literally just going to remove them from my view when making my determination about must-haves. There's a lot of strong cards here. The Crackling Doom, the Dragon-style Twins, the Mardu Rough Rider, the Mardu Charm especially. The Sultai Scavenger and the Alabaster Kirin are also must-haves. And all in all, I would say that these cards are going in my deck no matter what. All in all, that brings us to 15 out of 22 cards. Of our maybes, we must select 7. How do we do this? Let's start by looking at our mana curve. We only have 1 spell at 1 mana, and it's an equipment. At 2 mana, we have a nice piece of potential removal. I especially like casting Debilitating Injury on someone's morphed card. And we have our first and only 2-drop creature. At 3 mana, still no creatures. Crackling Doom, good removal. Mardu Charm as well. But this means it's highly, highly unlikely that we're going to have anything out on the field before turn 4. Now this set does play a lot slower than most, and I'm sure you guys noticed at your pre-release and launch events that games took a lot longer to get going on average. Still, when I'm looking at the maybes, I'm going to be paying attention for whether or not there's any lower cost creatures that I might want to add to my deck. The majority of our creatures so far are at 4 mana. Dragon-style Twins comes in at 5, one of our bombs, as does the Mardu Rough Rider. Finally, at the end of our curve are our Sultai Scavengers, 3/3 flyers with Delve that we might be able to bring out sooner than turn 6. We've got a good amount of flyers and a reasonable amount of removal. I'd always like more of the 2, but I would like to see if there's any way we can get some 1, 2, or maybe 3-drop creatures out there. Looking in our maybe pile, and remember, we're looking for 7 of these cards, I'm absolutely going to grab that Mardu Hateblade. At 2, we have a couple Leaping Masters, and since we're missing 2 drops, I'm strongly inclined to go towards them to fill out our curve. I'm less interested in the Feat of Resistance and the Despise. I'm going to pass on the Trumpet Blast, and definitely pass on the Bloodfire Mentor. We don't even have access to blue mana. The Bloodfire Expert at 3 for a 3/1 with Prowess, I will snap up. So now Now we have 4 of our needed 7 cards from the maybe pile. What's left? 2 Summit Prowlers and an unyielding Krumar, the Venerable Lamassu at a ridiculous 7 mana and no delve, and the costly but handy Rite of the Serpent. Great removal, just destroys a target creature, maybe you get a snake. We need 3 more cards. Of those 3, the first one I'm going to grab is the Rite of the Serpent. You can never have enough removal. Even though it's expensive, I'm going for the Venerable Lamassu. At 5/4 flyer, it is something late game that could really turn the tide in my direction. So now we've got room for 1 more card. Summit Prowler or Unyielding Krumar. The Prowler's got a little extra attack, but the fact that the Krumar can get first strike for only 2 makes me choose him instead. So there's our 7 cards. Add that to the must-have 15, and I think we have a really solid deck here. We also got a Bloodfell Caves and a Scored Barrens to help us with mana fixing. I'm actually really excited about this deck, sincerely, and I'm looking forward to playing my friends with it later today. But what do you think? Do you agree with all of the choices that I made in assembling this deck? Are there any cards that I didn't include that you think should have been included? Which ones and why? I'm very curious what all of you think about this. I hope this video has been helpful for you. You can help me out by remembering to subscribe, like, share, or just by posting that comment. And remember, you can't play Magic at Target or Walmart, so when you're buying your booster packs to build your own sealed deck for casual play, try and spend that money at your local game store whenever possible. You're supporting your Magic community.